Divine flow. Embrace your sacred journey to happiness, manifesting heavenly abundance in 40 days. In the quiet of the English countryside, amidst whispering winds and blooming flowers, Sarah felt the call of divine purpose wash over her. It was as if the heavens had parted, revealing a golden light illuminating the way to her family's salvation. For Sarah, life had once been a gentle stream, flowing with the joys of mothering her 2 little ones and reveling in the love of her husband Mark, a carpenter whose hands shaped wood with tender care. But that peace shattered when Mark lost his job, leaving them drowning in worry and financial strife. Every whispered prayer she offered felt heavy with desperation, the echo of her faith ringing hollow in their once vibrant home. Every Sunday, Sarah found herself nestled in the faithful congregation at the parish of St. Jude, the patron saint of lost causes. There, amidst warm embraces and the scent of burning incense, Sarah felt a flicker of hope. Yet, that flicker fizzled when reality struck. Bills piled high, each one a weight upon her heart. "Please, Lord, guide us," she pleaded, lighting candles, their flickering flames a symbol of her devotion. How could she embrace happiness when her heart was so burdened? As days turned into weeks, she immersed herself in prayer, attending candlelight vigils organized by her community. Their voices filled the air, a symphony of faith resonating into the night. She savored moments of connection, allowing hope to rise in her chest. "Heavenly promises are ours," they declared. But with every gathering, doubt crept in uninvited, leaving Sarah wrestling with her faith. One evening at a prayer meeting, as the congregants raised their hands to the heavens, Pastor Tom approached her, his eyes glistening with wisdom. "Hold fast to God's promises," he instructed gently. And for a brief moment, her spirit soared. Yet, as days unfolded, resentment clouded her heart as worldly temptations tried to tempt her into seeking relief outside of faith. Longing for immediate answers, she felt the sting of disillusionment wash over her. That fateful night at the community hall, under a dimly lit ceiling, Sarah listened intently to an elderly widow, her vibrant faith a beacon of enduring hope. With tears streaming down her cheeks, the widow shared her miraculous story of how God provided for her during her darkest hours. "Never lose faith! God sees you!" she cried. The crowd erupted in whispers of awe, and Sarah felt warmth spread through her heart, albeit thinly stretched. Before we continue, I need to tell you about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, click the bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can leave a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. Sarah sat in silence after the widow's testimony, her heart racing, wrestling with faith overshadowed by overwhelming uncertainty. Could God still provide for her? A fire ignited inside. She resolved to seek true abundance, not in worldly riches, but in the treasures of her community's unwavering spirit. As Sarah began to piece her faith back together, the unexpectedness of life hit again. A benevolent benefactor approached, offering assistance in a way that made her heart pound with disbelief. She stood at the precipice of miracles, yet anxiety tightened its grip around her heart. Would her family's circumstances truly change? With unanswered questions lingering in her mind, Sarah found herself filled with determination. As she stood on the cusp of a divine encounter, she realized she had to dive deeper into her sacred journey. Faith was no longer just a simple duty. It ignited a wildfire of heavenly abundance. Would she embrace the fullness of what God had in store? Only time would tell. The sacred inquiry unfolded, leading her toward the divine promise nestled deep within the mystery of faith. The dawn broke gently over the rolling hills, casting warm hues of amber and gold across Sarah's home. The light seemed to cradle her as she stirred awake, filling her with the sweet sensation of hope. She sat up in bed, her heart still racing from the dreams that danced in her mind during the night, visions of peace, love, and abundance that felt just out of reach, yet tantalizingly close. With a deep breath, she whispered, "Thank you, Lord, for another day." Mark was already awake, his hands busy repairing a small piece of furniture by the window. He glanced up and offered her a smile that spoke volumes, a reminder of the love that tethered their spirits despite the stormy weather they faced. "Good morning, love," he said softly. "I've been thinking, maybe I should reach out to some old contacts, see if anyone needs help with projects." His suggestion made Sarah's heart swell with a mix of pride and worry. She admired his resilience, yet the thought of him wrestling with rejection again made her stomach churn. "That's a great idea, Mark. You are so talented," she replied, pulling him into a gentle embrace. "Just stay firm in your faith, all right?" Later, as the children played in the garden, Sarah sat at the kitchen table, her hands wrapped around a steaming cup of herbal tea. She had begun to find solace in moments like these, where the aroma of chamomile mingled with soft laughter outside. Sipping the tea, she closed her eyes, allowing the warmth to wash over her. With every sip, she felt her worries soften, her heart lifting toward the heavens. "Lord," she prayed, "help me find that path of abundance. Guide Mark and me. We need your light now more than ever." As the day wore on, Sarah decided to embark on crafting something new. Inspired by the widow's testimony, she set to work on a brightly colored quilt that would symbolize their hope and unity as a family. The fabric pieces she selected whispered stories, their patterns bold and beautiful, as if they were woven from the very essence of joy itself. Each stitch felt sacred, a prayer mixed with purpose. Meanwhile, the town buzzed with the anticipation of the seasonal fair approaching. Sarah loathed the idea of joining in, but as the community rallied together, she felt drawn to the excitement in the air, the vibrance of life amongst the adversity. What if they could set up a booth to share their crafts? Perhaps it would bring extra income, but even more, a chance to reconnect with their neighbors and spread a message of hope. That night, Sarah shared her idea with Mark, her heart pounding with the vulnerability of suggested change. To her delight, his eyes sparkled with enthusiasm. "What a perfect opportunity," he exclaimed. "We can showcase your quilt and maybe even a few of my pieces too. It would be like a celebration of our faith." Together, they prayed for guidance, entrusting their worries to God's plans for their family. In those shared moments of anticipation and prayer, Sarah felt a renewed sense of unity, a renewal of their commitment to each other and to faith. As they fell asleep that night, Sarah's mind was alive with visions of their booth. What if it was a success? What if this was the breakthrough they had been yearning for? But with those exhilarating thoughts came a whisper of doubt. What if it flopped? What if their efforts led to nothing? Yet nestled beneath those fears was a tiny spark of hope, urging her to trust in the divine unfolding of their lives. It felt like standing at the foot of a beautiful mountain, waiting to climb higher, longing to embrace whatever awaited them at the summit. What miracle would unfold at the fair? What divine encounters awaited them on this sacred journey? As sleep embraced her once more, Sarah knew the answers lay ahead, filled with the promise of light. Morning light filtered through the curtains, gently urging Sarah from sleep. She blinked against the brightness, a sense of purpose rising within her. Today was the day they would finalize their plans for the fair. Excited and nervous, she swung her legs over the side of the bed and pressed her feet into the cool wooden floor. In the kitchen, Mark was busy preparing breakfast, the sweet aroma of pancakes mingling with the scent of the crisp autumn air wafting through the open window. Smells amazing," Sarah said, her heart swelling with gratitude. "Just a little fuel for our big day," Mark replied, flashing her that comforting smile again. "I can feel it in my bones, love. This fair is going to be different. It's going to be special." As they shared breakfast with their children, the table filled with laughter and lively chatter. The joy radiating from their family wrapped around Sarah like a warm blanket, comforting her doubts. Her heart resonated with the excitement of the fair, and each moment reminded her of how faith could weave together the tapestry of life, much like the quilt she was finishing. After breakfast, Sarah moved to the side of the house where she had hung her quilt to display it in the sunlight. The vibrant colors glowed, caught bright and alive in the golden rays. Each patch represented a moment of hope, a reminder that even in struggles, beauty emerges through faith. As she stepped back to admire her work, her phone buzzed with a message from an old friend. "Sarah, are you still making crafts? Do you have time to meet before the fair?" A wave of warmth washed over her. It was Ruth, someone who had always been supportive and cherished her creativity. "Of course," Sarah typed back, invigorated. "I'd love to catch up. Let's meet at the cafe later." The plan sparked a whirlwind of emotions. What if this moment was the connection they needed? Ruth had always had an eye for design and a passion for supporting local artisans. The potential for collaboration blossomed in Sarah's heart, a thread of divine guidance weaving into her day. Later, the cafe buzzed with life, and when Ruth arrived, she immediately embraced Sarah with an energy that felt electric. "I've missed you. Your quilt looks stunning, by the way." "Thank you. We're going to showcase it at the fair," Sarah replied, her voice brimming with excitement. They dove deep into conversation, sharing dreams, hopes, and the blessings intertwined in their lives. Ruth's enthusiasm didn't wane as she spoke. "You know, I've been working on a little project too. A community art piece. What if we combined your quilts with my idea for the fair? It could bring people together. A vision of hope." Sarah's heart raced. "That sounds incredible. Imagine everyone adding their own little piece to the project, like a beautiful tapestry of our community." As they brainstormed, Sarah's spirit soared. Each idea was a step closer to what they not only desired as individuals, but as a united community. When Sarah returned home that evening, a sense of joy enveloped her. The children were asleep, and she shared Mark's anticipation as they prepared for the following day. "Guess who I met with today?" she asked, her eyes sparkling. Mark leaned in, curiosity piqued. "Who?" "Ruth. We're thinking of collaborating on something for the fair." Mark's face lit up. "That's amazing, Sarah. I can feel God's hand in all of this." They exchanged ideas, hearts filled with faith and anticipation. As they settled into bed, Sarah felt peace wash over her like a gentle tide. What awaited them at the fair? Would their dreams of connection and abundance manifest? With every whisper of the wind outside, an answer hung just out of reach, calling for her to step forward into the unfolding journey. And so, as sleep graced her again, Sarah felt the gentle prompting of the Spirit. What divine surprises awaited them in the morning light? What would be revealed in the sacred gathering of hearts at the fair? The dawn broke with a gentle brilliance, filling the world with new possibility. Sarah opened her eyes, a thrill rushing through her as she recalled the plans of the fair. There was an electric excitement weaving through her heart, pulsating with the rhythm of hope. She sat up, taking a moment to breathe in the peace that enveloped her home before slipping out of bed. In the kitchen, Mark was already at work, preparing breakfast with a care that spoke of his love for his family. The smell of cinnamon and apples filled the air, combining with the essence of fresh coffee brewing in the pot. "Morning, sleepyhead," Mark grinned at her, his eyes dancing with the same excitement she felt. "Good morning. Can you believe today is the big day?" Sarah asked, her voice filled with anticipation. Mark nodded. "I can't wait to see it all come together. I have a feeling this is just the beginning of something amazing." Their children, buzzing with energy, joined them. As they shared breakfast, they spoke of dreams and wishes, the very air vibrating with joyous laughter and warm affection. Each heartfelt interaction reminded Sarah that family was the bedrock of her faith, the constant thread holding her spirit together. After the meal, Sarah prepared her belongings, carefully rolling the quilt. As she tucked it under her arm, she felt its importance. each stitch imbued with love, resilience, and the unmistakable grace of God guiding her every step. Arriving at the fairgrounds, the atmosphere buzzed with life. Colorful booths were being set up. Sarah's heart swelled with every sound, every sight of people working together toward a common goal. The birds sang overhead, carrying whispers of encouragement that seemed to call her forward into the swirl of activity. "Sarah, over here!" Ruth's familiar voice cut through the chatter, pulling Sarah's focus. Ruth stood near her stall, surrounded by a tapestry of colors, a living testament to their collaborative vision. "This is beautiful!" Sarah exclaimed, her eyes widening at the beauty that unfolded before her. Decorations, fabrics, and raw creativity flowed together harmoniously, ready to welcome all who came. Ruth smiled, radiating enthusiasm. "It's just the beginning. Here, help me set this up." They worked together, arranging quilts, art pieces, and supplies. Each moment felt sacred, laboring hand in hand for something greater. As the day progressed, more community members joined in, weaving their own stories into the fabric of the fair. Sarah's heart warmed as she watched families connect, children laugh, and friendships rekindle. An indescribable peace flowed over the grounds, like a holy wave, wrapping everyone in its embrace, whispers of hope echoing around them. A young girl approached Sarah, eyes sparkling with curiosity. "Can I help with the quilt?" she asked, holding up a small patch she had decorated with bright colors. "Of course. This is how we create beauty together," Sarah replied, kneeling beside her. Gathered in shared dreams, they worked, laughter surrounding them as the quilt grew. This was precisely the vision they had spoken of, a community coming together as one tapestry. As the sun dipped low, casting a warm glow over the fair, Sarah felt a stirring in her soul. People shared their stories, connecting their hearts through art. She caught Mark's eye in the distance, his smile saying so much. In that moment, something deeper unfolded, a realization that they were all part of something divine. But just then, a whisper of wind swept through the fair, carrying an unexpected chill. Sarah looked around. Was there something more waiting to be unveiled? What else was the spirit eager to reveal in this sacred gathering of souls? As the evening darkened, illuminating stars began to pepper the sky, Sarah felt a growing anticipation. What divine surprises were yet to come? What awaited them in the depths of their shared faith at this community gathering? With every heartbeat echoing God's promises, she stepped closer, ready to embrace whatever flowed next. The fairgrounds twinkled with lights, and the air thrummed with expectancy. Laughter intertwined with music, a sweet symphony of joy echoing through the evening. Sarah's heart was full, yet a subtle restlessness nudged at her spirit, as if the universe whispered secrets just beyond her grasp. Mark approached, a gentle look in his eyes as he took her hand. "What's on your mind?" he asked, his voice a soothing balm in the vibrant chaos around them. "I can't shake the feeling that something special is about to happen. Like we're in the middle of a great story, and the best part is yet to be revealed," she replied, her gaze wandering to the horizon where the last light of day melted away. "Then let's open our hearts to it," he encouraged. "Whatever comes, we'll face it together." Sarah smiled, comforted by his unwavering faith. Holding onto his hand, she let her mind drift, inviting the whispers of God into her thoughts. Around them, the fair thrummed with life. Children darted from booth to booth, hands painted with bright colors, echoes of their delight weaving through the air. Community members exchanged stories at the tables, their voices mingling like a sweet chorus of praise. Then, from the edge of the festivities, Sarah noticed a small gathering around a figure standing alone, draped in shadows. Curiosity tinged with concern drew her closer. Mark followed, sensing the same pull. As they neared, the crowd parted slightly, revealing an elderly man, his frail frame radiating a quiet strength. His eyes, deep with wisdom, sparkled under the string lights. He cradled an intricate carved wooden cross, the craftsmanship exquisite. "Can anyone tell me the story behind this fair?" the old man asked, his voice resonating like a distant bell. The crowd hushed, a palpable anticipation filling the space. Sarah instinctively stepped forward, feeling an urge to speak. "It's about community. It's about coming together in love and creativity," she said, hope threading through her words. He nodded slightly, a smile softening his features. "Indeed, but it is also a tapestry of our journeys, binding our hopes, dreams, and sorrows together. Each thread carries a story." With that he gestured subtly toward the cross. "I made this for those who seek connection with the divine. It is a reminder that God weaves our lives together, even in ways we cannot see." His words struck Sarah deep, stirring something profound within her. Each moment spent at the fair felt less like mere celebration and more like an awakening to a divine narrative that encompassed them all. Suddenly, the wind shifted again, carrying a subtle hint of the unknown. Sarah felt her heart race. She glanced at the cross, then at Ruth, who stood watching with admiration. "Do you feel it?" Sarah whispered. "There is something more at play here." Mark's grip tightened on her hand. "The spirit is moving, Sarah. We just need to be open." As the evening wore on, illuminated by the stars above, every connection formed at the fair felt like tiny miracles unfurling. Yet beneath that beauty lay a deeper mystery waiting to be unveiled, an unfolding story propelled by faith. Just then, the old man raised his voice, calling for silence once more. "As we celebrate tonight, let us remember the beauty of our individual paths. But also understand, we are weaving something together greater than ourselves." Sarah's spirit soared. What revelation lay ahead? What steps were they being led to take next in this shared adventure of faith? Within her heart, she sensed an invitation, an opening to dive deeper into the divine tapestry being created. "Tomorrow holds promise," the old man intoned, "but tonight, let us embrace the mystery." With the night deepening around them, the air felt charged with possibility. What awaited them in the day to come? In that moment, Sarah couldn't help but wonder, how would their lives forever change because of tonight's divine touch? As the last notes of music drifted into the night sky, Sarah's heart danced with the melody of expectation. The warmth of Mark's hand gave her comfort, yet the old man's words echoed in her mind. Each path woven together defined not just their community, but their very souls. The thought sparked something vibrant within her, lighting the way to a deeper understanding. Ruth stepped closer, enthralled by the captivating energy surrounding them. Her eyes shimmered with hope and intrigue. "Do you think he knows something about all of us?" she whispered, a hint of fascination coloring her tone. "Perhaps," Mark replied softly. "Or maybe he serves as a reminder that we all play a role in this story. We must keep our hearts open to what's next." With each passing moment, Sarah felt a connection with the crowd. Faces illuminated by candlelight wore expressions of wonder and belief. She was caught up in the contagious spirit that encompassed them all. Yet, beneath that warmth lay an undercurrent of yearning, a desire to uncover the unseen paths they were being invited to explore. The old man continued, sharing tales of the fair's past, stitching together stories that had long been hidden away. With each anecdote, students of faith swayed, collectively drawn into the beauty of shared experiences. Sarah inhaled deeply, sensing the invisible threads binding their stories together, a vibrant tapestry pulsating with divine energy. Suddenly, the crowd grew still. The old man paused, gazing over them as if sensing a new spirit stirring. "Tonight, we celebrate the present, but I charge you, reflect upon what you seek." His voice rang with beautiful authority. "The cross is not just a centerpiece, it's a call to action. What do you yearn for from the divine?" A hush settled over the crowd, and feelings of both longing and expectation filled the air. Sarah could feel it. Her heart began to beat fervently with unspoken desires. What had she not shared? What silent prayers lay heavy within her soul? Mark turned to her, his face poised with solemnity. "What about your dreams, Sarah? What do you envision when you think of your deepest desires?" His question hung suspended in the air like a gentle beckoning. Sarah grappled with the answer. Past ambitions flickered before her, writing, helping others, connecting, and ultimately living in purpose. Yet a deeper truth lay buried beneath those dreams, the yearning to be intertwined in a story larger than herself. "I want to understand my path more fully," Sarah uttered quietly, "and live it out loud." The old man's eyes sparkled with approval, as if he could hear her heart. "Then, seek that understanding. Let your soul's hunger guide you. If you thirst for wisdom, it will be provided." Around her, whispers erupted like a wave, pouring out hopes and dreams, gratitude mingling with vulnerability. Each prayer seemed more vibrant than the last as they knitted their intentions into the space. The divine surely listened. In the heart of the fair, the atmosphere crackled with life and divine connection. Yet, Sarah couldn't shake the feeling that their stories were still unfurling, destined to intertwine even more profoundly. As the horizon darkened, the old man raised the wooden cross high above his head. "We are called to embrace this journey together, my friends. Tomorrow we will uncover new depths, but tonight, hold sacred what you have shared." As the last echo of his voice faded, light shimmered in the distance, like a beacon revealing a new trail ahead. Sarah felt a magnetic force drawing her closer, holding promise in its glow. With a heart pounding in her chest, she whispered to Mark, "What happens next? What if tomorrow leads us to something we've never imagined?" Mark's grip tightened on her hand, eyes filled with wonder. "Then we dive in, trusting that God will lead the way." Together, they stood at the edge of the unknown, ready to step into whatever awaited them. What adventures would unfold in their hearts and lives? As the night wrapped around them like a comforting embrace, the question lingered in the air, waiting to be answered. The sunrise painted the sky with hues of gold and lavender, gently stirring the world awake. As the first rays peeked into the festival grounds, the fair took on a magical hue, awakening to the promise of a new day. Sarah could feel a quiet anticipation thrumming through the air, a reminder of the old man's words from the night before. "Today is the beginning," she murmured, her heart thudding with hope. She and Mark wandered through the still empty booths, their fingers trailing along colorful fabrics and bright trinkets, remnants of yesterday's energy still humming faintly. Here was a space of possibility, a canvas awaiting the brush of their dreams. It wasn't long before others began to trickle in. Faces brightened with cheerful laughter filled the space, joined by the aroma of fresh-baked bread and sweet pastries. The warm scents wrapped around Sarah like an embrace, revitalizing her spirit. Amid the bustling crowd, she felt a pull toward the cross, a source of inspiration and a reminder of their collective journey. "Do you feel it?" Sarah asked Mark, her voice barely above a whisper, as they stepped closer to the wooden cross that stood proudly in the center. Mark nodded, eyes sparkling. "It's as if it's calling us. A reminder of purpose." They took a collective breath, letting the moment wrap around them like a soft shawl. Sarah closed her eyes for just a moment, allowing herself to be enveloped by the spirit of the day. In quiet reflection, she envisioned herself stepping forward into a life defined by love and service, a life where each interaction was filled with grace. The soft murmur of voices snapped her back to the present, a few festival-goers gathering around the old man. His presence seemed more radiant in the morning sun, the lines on his face illuminated by wisdom. "Today, we dive deeper," he announced, his voice rising above the cheerful chatter. "Today is a gift, a chance to reclaim what has gone dormant within you. What do you seek this day? What is it that your heart desires?" His words resonated within Sarah, awakening a longing nestled deep in her soul. "I want to create. I want my voice to matter," she found herself shouting, a rush of passion bubbling over. The crowd turned, eyes wide with surprise and encouragement. "Let that yearning guide you," he replied, his gaze piercing yet warm. "And remember, the divine is always ready to respond. The moment you speak your truth, heaven moves to meet you." Amidst the vibrant energy, Sarah realized others were replying too, sharing their dreams, their aches, and their passions. Each declaration hung like sacred threads in the air, weaving together their hearts. A shiver of excitement raced along her spine as a thought ignited in her mind. What if they could come together to form something grand, something collaborative that celebrated every voice? "Mark," she said, her voice steadying, "what if we started a gathering, an open space where everyone could share their stories and dreams?" His smile brightened as he considered it. "That sounds incredible. A workshop, a canvas for all our stories," he replied, his enthusiasm infectious. As the sun rose higher, the collective energy surged, giving shape to their thoughts. Sarah could see possibilities unfolding, a tapestry of dreams taking flight around them. But the deeper question lingered. Is this where it would begin? Would they have the courage to act upon the whispers that beckoned them? They stood on the edge of a choice, hearts intertwined with a thread of divine inspiration. With each passing moment, Sarah felt the weight of the unknown beginning to lift. All they needed might just be around the next corner. "What do you think will happen if we share our truths?" Mark asked, a hint of anxiety masking his excitement. As if a whisper from heaven answered, Sarah smiled widely. "I believe the world will shift. The light will shine brighter in each of us. A movement of divine connection will awaken." They clasped hands again, gripping tightly in unity. It was more than an idea, it was a calling. And as they stood in that sacred space, the question pulsed through them. What awaits when their dreams intertwine with purpose? The answer beckoned, drawing them forward, eager for revelation. The festival buzzed with the melody of laughter and chatter. As the morning deepened, more souls gathered, drawn by an invisible thread of promise. Sarah and Mark felt the evolving energy, almost electric, sparking with each new voice that joined their declaration. "Let's gather everyone here!" Mark's eyes gleamed as he ventured into the crowd. He was buoyed by their earlier conversation, excitement spilling from him like a contagious fire. Sarah followed closely, her heart racing in rhythm with his enthusiasm. As they navigated through the throng, Sarah noticed the faces glowing with hope, each person uniquely crafted by their own experiences and stories. With each person they approached, she could see how their dream of connection grew. They shared smiles and words of encouragement, each interaction solidifying the sense of community burgeoning around them. "Excuse me, everyone," Mark's voice rang clearly, cutting through the murmurs like a bell. "We want you to be part of something beautiful today. We're creating a space for all of our stories, a place to share dreams and empower one another. Will you join us?" A ripple of curiosity spread among the crowd. Faces turned, nodding, expressions shifting from surprise to joy. They were not only hearing words but sensing the weight behind them, the spirit stirring in their hearts. The old man, watching from a distance, smiled knowingly. Sarah felt a wave of warmth wash over her. "We'll meet under the cross," she called, her voice gaining strength. "Join us for a gathering where every voice matters." With that invitation, people began to converge toward the cross, spirits lifted, drawn by an eager hope. They settled in a circle, a diverse tapestry woven from different backgrounds, but all united under one aspiration: connection. As the crowd settled into their place, Sarah felt a surge of gratitude. This was it. This moment felt sacred. It was a tangible manifestation of their dreams. The sun shone down brightly, casting gold rays like blessings upon them. "Let's start with an introduction," Mark suggested, looking around the circle. Share your name and your dream. Tell us why you're here. One by one, they spoke. The words flowed like rivers, carrying stories of longing, bravery, loss, and hope. Each tale was a brushstroke on the canvas they were creating together. Sarah listened intently, each narrative stirring something inside her, a resonance she couldn't quite put into words. A woman in a flowing blue dress spoke of her wish to heal through art. A young man shared his dream of seeing his music touch hearts. An elderly gentleman revealed his love for storytelling and desire to inspire youth. Each dream felt like a precious seed, waiting to take root in shared soil. "This is beautiful," Sarah whispered to Mark during a pause, her eyes glistening. "It's a symphony of souls." Mark grinned, a light shining in his expression. "It's only the beginning, isn't it?" "Well," Sarah mused, her heart full, "if we all bloom together, imagine how vibrant everything will become." As the gathering continued, a sense of unity blossomed among them. They shared laughter, tears, and stories. The atmosphere shifted, filled with an undeniable spirit of collaboration. As they laughed and expressed, it was as if the very air thickened with divine love, wrapping around them like a warm blanket. Yet, as the sun began its arc toward noon, a question lingered in Sarah's heart. What would this unity lead to? Without warning, the old man stepped into their circle. He held his hands wide, beckoning them to listen closely. "Remember," he said, every word saturated with profound weight. "The world is shaped not by mere dreams, but by brave actions taken in their pursuit. Be ready for the journey ahead." Sarah exchanged glances with Mark. Were they truly prepared for the transformative work ahead? She could feel the urgency of the moment pressing in. If they stepped forward together, hearts wide open, what miracles could arise? And with eyes filled with wonder, they leaned closer, compelled to uncover what awaited them on this sacred journey. The air buzzed with anticipation as the circle tightened around the cross. Each heart shared its essence, and Sarah could feel the connection deepening like roots entwining in rich soil. Every story told was a light, and together they illuminated the space, revealing hidden hopes and dreams. Mark stepped forward, his vibrant energy shaking off the last remnants of doubt. "Let's not just share our dreams, but also what steps we can take to make them real," he proclaimed, his voice like a bell. "What actions can we commit to, each of us, together?" As if stirred by an unseen hand, people began to echo his call. One by one, they shared not only their dreams, but also a small commitment towards achieving them. The woman in blue offered to hold art workshops. The young musician promised to write a song inspired by the gathering. An elderly storyteller vowed to mentor a child. The commitments trickled in, each like a droplet feeding the growing river of faith and intention among them. Sarah felt her heart swell. She joined in, sharing her commitment to lead moments of reflection in their circle. "Sometimes we just need to pause and breathe among our dreams," she added softly, a serene smile on her face. "Let's make it a ritual," Mark said, excitement pulsing through him. "We'll meet for a gathering each week to share progress, to hold each other accountable, to celebrate. We'll become a family." At this moment, the atmosphere shifted once more, swelling with the energy of solid, determined hearts. The old man's words echoed in their minds, reminding them that action was the bridge between their dreams and reality. Suddenly, from the outskirts of the circle, a joyful shout erupted. "I want to join!" A bright-eyed girl with untamed curls stepped forward, her enthusiasm brightening the cloudy corners of the day. "I've always dreamt of starting a community garden. It's my love, and I want to help grow something beautiful with all of you." The crowd erupted in cheers, their spirits lifting at this new vision. It was as if she had unlocked a door to rejuvenation, and now inspiration flowed freely. Others began to share their own visions, all interconnected, a web of dreams knitting together in the golden light of the festival. Hours slipped away like water through fingers, but no one noticed. They were spinning tales of inspiration entwined with commitment, crafting a tapestry that was alive with collective aspiration. But deep inside, Sarah felt a growing unease. The sacred energy was undeniably beautiful, yet a whisper loomed persistently. Was this unity merely a fleeting feeling, or a gateway to something truly transformative? She caught Mark's eye and saw the same flicker of uncertainty flash across his features. Just then, the old man raised his hand. "I see hope marvelously blossoming here," he said, his voice ringing with power. "But remember, every great journey has challenges that test your resolve. Be steadfast in your commitments and prepare for moments that will challenge your very spirits." With that, a hush fell over the group. They felt the urgency of his caution as reality hovered at the edges of their beautiful dreams. What shadows might they encounter along their journey? What storms could threaten this shared vision? The sun began its descent, and as the golden hues deepened, the moment felt ripe with promise, yet laced with wonder and trepidation. What awaited them beyond this sacred gathering? Sarah felt the wind stir and carried her breath closer to her heart. There was something grand brewing, and she was ready to embrace it. With eyes wide open and spiraled together in unity, they prepared to step into the unknown, hands clasped, hearts aligned. What would their next steps unveil? The evening deepened into velvet darkness, punctuated only by the stars glimmering above, witnesses to the profound intentions woven that day. The gathered souls circled the cross, their hearts now stirred and emboldened by shared dreams, yet an inkling of apprehension loomed just beyond the shimmering horizon. Sarah's heart drummed with anticipation as she contemplated the unknown that awaited them. She could sense the invigorating mixture of fear and eagerness swelling inside her. With Mark by her side, she felt braver, stronger. He squeezed her hand, grounding her amongst the uncertainty. The old man, still standing tall, continued, "Remember, dear ones, the path of dreams can be rugged. Challenges may loom and seeds may not sprout as you wish. Yet, your resolve becomes the sun, nurturing those fragile dreams. Nurture them with unwavering faith." A hush fell over the crowd. These gentle warnings hung in the air like sacred whispers, urging them to bravely confront what may come. "What if we face that challenge together?" Sarah called out, her voice steady and unwavering. The crowd leaned forward, enraptured. "As we chase our dreams, let us be each other's support and strength. When one of us falters, will the others not rally? Let's pledge to stand strong, to lift each other in prayer and action." An immediate wave of acceptance flowed through the group. "Yes!" Voices rose in unison, intertwining their individual desires with a newfound commitment to one another. Mark's face lit up, reflecting shared understanding with Sarah. "We're not just pursuing our dreams, we're creating a resilient community. We can't let doubt creep in when we have each other to lean on. Let's take this momentum and run." As the sun kissed the horizon goodnight, Sarah saw their circle transform into a bastion of hope. Each individual stood at the ready to confront obstacles, both seen and unseen, another thread in the fabric of their journey. "Let's meet here again in a week," Mark declared, determination igniting his voice. "Let's share our progress, our fears, and our victories. This can be an ongoing tapestry woven with love and faith." The crowd erupted in enthusiastic agreement. Excitement rippled through the air, mingling with the sense of the fair. Laughter bubbled up around the cross, brightening the atmosphere. Any remnants of doubt began to dissolve in the glow of solidarity. As the gathering began to break up, Sarah felt a tingling sensation of purpose dance across her skin. She caught sight of the girl with the untamed curls, a beam of light capturing her enthusiasm. "Can I start planting the garden tomorrow?" the girl shouted, her eyes sparkling, alive with excitement. "Absolutely," Sarah replied, a surge of strength rising within her. "I'll help you start. Together we will cultivate the love for community through that garden." That night, as they returned home, the warmth of hope wrapped around them like a soft blanket. It enveloped Sarah and Mark, igniting their spirits with a shared vision that coursed through their veins. Was it the magic of faith? Or perhaps a divine wind that pushed them ever closer to fulfilling purpose? Regardless of what it was, Sarah knew this journey was transforming them. Days slipped like water through fingers, and as the morning light filtered through the curtains the next week, Sarah felt the weight of possibility pressing down like a sweet perfume. The gathering neared, and the anticipation of what lay ahead filled her with a heightened sense of belonging. At the fairgrounds, a flurry of activity awaited. Even the air seemed charged with enthusiasm. Community members adorned their booths with vibrant fabrics and displays, each symbolizing hope and collaboration, a visible testament to their collective dreams. Sarah's heart raced as she approached the cross. Faces brightened around her, each filled with stories waiting to unfold. As Mark linked his arm with hers, she caught a glimpse of the vulnerable beauty of their shared journey, the hardships they would face, and the love that would guide them through. When the designated time arrived, they gathered again beneath that sacred beacon. The sun glowed, a reminder of another chance to share their growing experiences. Laughter filled the air, and even before they began, the knowing in Sarah's heart deepened. Mark stood before them first, a proud father to this new venture, his voice carrying strength. "We've come together once more. Let's reflect on everything we've achieved and hold space for our future with courage." There was a sparkle in his eyes as he continued. One by one, they began sharing, recounting victories and trials that had surfaced since the last meeting. The young musician had written a song that echoed the spirit of their gathering. The artist took her first workshop, which blossomed with enthusiasm. The gardener tendered her sprouts of hope, each one a testament to their joined efforts. As the words poured forth, a warmth blossomed in Sarah's heart. This was divine action manifesting into reality. With each shared story, she could feel the tapestry of their community unfurling before her, enveloping everyone in the spirit of unity. Then it happened. One elderly woman slowly rose from her seat. With trembling hands, she spoke. "I never thought I would find my voice in a crowd again, but here, surrounded by all of you, I found it. It feels like home." Her honest declaration struck a chord, resonating among them all. The crowd responded warmly, echoing sentiments of support, elevating her truth into a shared celebration of purpose. In that moment, something shifted. It was as if the Holy Spirit had swept in, enfolding their hearts around a sacred covenant. Bonds strengthened against any storm, woven together through moments of vulnerability and testimony. "Let us pray," Mark suggested, gathering the energy around them. As Sarah closed her eyes, she felt a surge of divine love wash over her, reassuring her of the path forward. Each spirit rose, united in prayer. She caught whispers of gratitude rising around them, a heartfelt offering up to the heavens. "May our dreams bloom," a collective voice sang out. "May we find strength in the struggle, joy in our journey, and light in our unity." When they opened their eyes once more, the air released a tangible electricity, a hopeful expectancy that hovered above them. And then Sarah saw it. A flicker of divine purpose taking root in each heart. Within that sacred moment, she understood. They were the storytellers, each thread woven into a vibrant tapestry. They were becoming the very manifestation of heaven on earth, guided by a faith that transformed their dreams into reality. Sarah squeezed Mark's hand, her heart full of life and vitality. The tapestry of abundance had woven itself delicately around them, each thread representing a prayer, a story, a life intertwined. Though challenges lay ahead, they stood together, firmly rooted in faith and poised to embrace whatever came next. Together, they would write the next chapter of their lives, unfolding the sacred journey they had embraced with each brave step. As a resounding cheer echoed through the crowd, affirmation pulsing with energy, a sweet realization settled over Sarah. This truly was the beginning of something beautiful. Now, dear friends, if you've been inspired by this divine story of faith and transformation, I implore you, subscribe immediately to the channel to not miss the next exclusive faith stories that will uplift your spirit. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and help spread this message of hope. Comment below your reactions and personal testimonies about how you're embracing your sacred journey. And share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this manifestation of God's glory. This is the moment to show your support. Don't wait even one more second to be part of this sacred community. Your actions matter. Together, let's continue to shine His light.